Hi, I'm Jilly Badanes here for WashingtonTimes.com. I'm standing in front of the White House where they're busy preparing for the big inauguration day, January 20th. And inside the White House, the staff is also preparing for the family that will come home that day. I recently sat down with Betty Monkman, a former curator for the White House, to talk about what that day will be like.
Be exhausted for one thing, because not only will they have gone through all the ceremony, the long parade, then they will go out to the inaugural, at least the President, Mrs. Obama, will go out to the parades, get home very late, whether they'll have receptions for some of their supporters the next day.
Betty Monkman served in the White House from 1967 to 2002.
I remember when President and Mrs. Carter, walked down Pennsylvania Avenue for part of the way on their inauguration day. The next day they had reception after reception after reception. And Mrs. Carter had to take her shoes off. She couldn't stand there in her shoes anymore because she had been standing and walking for a couple of days, literally, so... I think
through 8 presidencies and 7 transitions, she saw families work to make that big house on Pennsylvania Avenue into a family home.
The incoming First Lady would get an album of photographs of the rooms that are available for the family in which they will live. She would probably get floor plans, any sorts of books for the President indicating which desks are available to be used in the Oval Office. I'm sure they were given books relating to the history of the White House, its art collection, its furnishings, and so forth.
And it's that day that the staff will begin work with the Obamas to choose furniture and layout that best suit the family.
So they would have an opportunity to do some reading and looking and planning before they arrive on January the 20th.
The Obamas can choose anything they like from a storage facility at an undisclosed location in Maryland.
The part of the storage facility where the collection is housed is about 40,000 square feet, and it has stacks and rows, metal shelving with rows of chairs by style or period.
As White House curator, Betty Monkman became quite familiar with the items inside that facility.
There's a range of furniture that President Truman bought when the house was refurbished in the 1950s. Very, shall we say, furniture store quality furniture that came in the early 50s, some of which are used for bedside tables and chests of drawers and things like that in the house.
And with those choices and some time, the house will become a home for the Obama
When you have to accommodate school-age children like Chelsea Clinton or Amy Carter, it provides a little bit more spontaneity. And I remember the first, in 1993, on Inauguration Day, in the corridor outside our office, Chelsea at 13 doing a little pirouette, a little ballet pirouette in the corridor. I thought, my reaction was, she's going to hit the chandelier, Or little Amy Carter coming through and going on one of those little hikes in which you, I think a March of Dimes or something, and she came to the surrounding offices to get pledges for money to be spent for her walk, and coming back with her Secret Service to collect on her pledges, So, we're kind of their neighborhood in a sense while they're living there, and we try to let them have their privacy and let them enjoy the house as much as they can, and I hope these children will do that as well.